So we are in Slovenia with Refosco from Rojac, which is the Refosco is the name of the grape. Refosco is also what they call it in Italy. So you see Refosco on the back. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's like the Slovenian way, and then Refosco is the Italian way. So this is 100% Refosco, 2018, which gives it 4 years of age, which is a decent amount. The way that it was made, so it had a good amount of time to macerate, 15 days, with neutral oak. So that means that it was a little bit porous, so that could affect the way the wine tastes a bit. And yeah, it's lower-ish ABV, 13.5. I would say that's about exactly where I would expect a wine like this. So the color is quite dark. You're starting to see a little bit of rim variation from that 4 years of aging. So it's a little bit lighter on the outside than the inside. That's what rim variation means. And then on the nose, oh, nice and earthy on the top. So it's like a little bit mushroomy, like wet leaves. Oh man, but I just like I went from the forest to like just like stark licorice right away, right after that. I was not expecting it. A little bit smoky, a little bit like what's called savory, like meaty, a little bit meaty. But then now here, let's talk about the fruit on the bottom. So there's still a lot of fruit, which makes sense because it's only 4 years so far, but lots of fresh fruit, but also some of it seems a little bit like jammy fruit. So there's deep ones like plums, blueberries for sure. But then there's also some red. I think it's not as like easy to see as the dark ones, but you know, like bright red cherry could also be there. Cranberries, a little bit sour maybe. All right, but yeah, lots going on. Let's try it. That is tasty. It needs food. It's like got a good amount of tannin, more than I was initially expecting. So really medium bodied, great amount of acid, really long finish. Like I'm still getting a ton of fruit on the finish. And yeah, the tannin it's not super high. It's like medium plus or whatever. But it certainly says, please put me with some food. So let's talk about what's in it now. So yeah, it's like, oh man, it's like deep, dark, and broody initially, but then it's like a burst of dark fruits like blueberries popping out of nowhere and plums, and it kind of like goes in and then out, if that makes sense, because it like coats your mouth and it feels very like deep. I think maybe you could say like that's like where more of like the like leathery smokiness is, and then it's just like boom, like, and here's the fruit, and then here's this long finish. And your gums are really dry now because it's tannic, but still good. Like not in a bad way. I just want something that has like a good amount of fat, I think, to go with this. So when I'm thinking about what I want to pair it with, I'm thinking pork chops right off the bat. You could certainly do heavier meats, like you could do a red meat or like a steak or something. I don't think it's not the perfect thing for it, but it would be fine. I love the idea of a pork chop or like a pork loin. I would do, there's just so much to pull from. Like you could match it to any of those qualities that I just mentioned. So I didn't actually say anything about baking spice, but I think that's there too. Yeah, but not as much. So that's good to know. So someone go. Yeah, sorry, it's too good to not keep drinking. Yeah, so meats, but in the non-meat areas, let me take a think about this for a second. You could do it with pastas, tomato-based pastas, it would work too. It's like, it's not quite the same as, you know, like your traditional Italian wines that you'd put with it, but it's certainly going to work, especially with, you know, like a bolognese or any kind of pasta that's going to have like a good amount of acid with it, or very meaty pasta. So lots of options, really great wine, like major price performer. I don't remember exactly how much it is, but I know it's on the cheaper side, and like it's punching way, way above its price point. So I hope you enjoy it. Slovenian wines are really fun. And yeah, this one's a gem.